Hey everyone, this is Dark Knight from Method Gaming, and this video is not an update, but rather a video about the recent uproar regarding upgrading artifacts. You've probably already seen videos about this, but just in case you haven't, here's the very basic info. I'll try to keep it short. Basically, if you're trying to upgrade an artifact using this option here, upgrade one level, not this one or any other, just this one, then you can actually turn off your Wi-Fi or any other internet connection, then hit this button and see how many attempts it's going to take until you actually do the upgrade. Now, because you don't have connection to in the internet, you can't reach the server. Your client cannot reach the server, so at the point where you would normally upgrade from 12 to 13, the game is going to get stuck, and basically that's how you know how many attempts it's going to take for you to take that piece from, let's say, 12 to 13. If you close out the game, turn your Wi-Fi back on, open the game, you're still going to be at 12, but then you will know that if you hit upgrade at one level, it's going to take you, for example, 5 or 10 attempts before you actually upgrade it. So this has caused quite a bit of an uproar because people now think that whenever an artifact drops, it is predetermined and coded into the artifact or the artifact information how many attempts you need for each level in order to reach 16. Now, I don't really believe this is the case because of one simple thing. Regardless of how many attempts you need to do this here, you can still use this option and it's going to give you a different result. I actually tested this out on this account earlier because I was running short on silver and I had to do a mission where I had to upgrade an artifact from to 16. So I was just doing that on this piece right here. It's already at 16, but it was at 14 at the time. So I had very limited silver. I think it was like 500k or so. So I tested it out. I turned off my Wi-Fi, I hit upgrade one level, and it didn't upgrade for 19 attempts, and then I ran out of silver. So I knew that it was going to take at least 20 attempts. So what I did was I closed out the game so I don't lose the silver. I turned my Wi-Fi back on, and then I started using the manual upgrade option. And it took, I think, 6 or 7 tries before I got that artifact from 14 to 15. So it wouldn't make sense if it's hard-coded within the item itself that it's going to take, let's say, 20 or 25 attempts to get from 14 to 15 for this particular item, or at least more than 19 because that's how far I got, if it's going to upgrade it using this option here in just 6 or 7 attempts. And vice versa. If you try this and the item upgrades in just 2 attempts, if you try the manual upgrade, it might take more. It might take 10, 15, we don't know. So what I think is actually going on is every time that our client is talking to the server, so to speak, they send a specific information and the client asks for specific information back. So for example, when I previously upgraded this item from 13 to 14, basically the client said to the server, if I have to use this as an anecdote, the client said to the server, okay, so this item is now 14. How many attempts on auto before I can call you back and tell you that it's 15 now? And then the server says, okay, let's make it 25 attempts. Client says, okay, and then disconnects. At that point, if I hit upgrade one level, it's gonna take me, just using this example, let's say 25 attempts. At that point, my client again connects to the server and says, okay, this piece is now 15. How many attempts till we get it to 16? And the server responds randomly 5 attempts. So that the game knows that for the next 5 times this item tries to upgrade, it shouldn't connect to the server. It's only on the 5th time where it will actually succeed, and it knows that it will succeed. Only then will it try to reach out to the server and say, okay, this item is now 16, give me the substat that I'm supposed to get on the 16th level. Which touches upon something else. I don't think these substats are predetermined. Maybe they are. That can be actually proven by data mining the information from the client. I've seen it done on other games. There are even websites which you can use to follow your account's progress, and they can give you all kinds of information, including how developed your characters are, how many stars they have. I'm actually talking about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. There's a resource site about that game called swgoh.gg, where if you use your ally code in there and create an account, it will update, I think daily or every couple of hours, I don't quite remember. It will update your account and show you an updated information on your account, your characters, how far they are in terms of stars, what kind of gear they have, and so on. So this information is reachable, and actually that website uses the servers to get that information, not the client. So it's kind of, I hope this doesn't sound too confusing, but so it's kind of something that can be data mined. Now I don't, and I can't data mine apps myself. I don't know how it happens at all. I'm not really not that technical, but somebody can do it, and maybe they can figure out what sort of information we have on our clients. So if we have, let's say we had this piece all the way down to level 1, we just got it. Would the client already have the information that it's going to roll HP once, attack once, and then add accuracy and defense? Or is this something random coming from the server? For this one, I would say either way is possible. I would bet on this information coming from the server, because if this was stored on the client side, this could be abused. Basically, we could have an app, an unofficial app, where it will pull the information from your client, and basically it should be able to tell you what items are going to roll what stats, and that way you will know exactly which items to upgrade because you will have that information. I would think that Plarium probably didn't leave such a backdoor in their client, so I would say that's probably not the case. My guess would be that every time our client talks to the server and reaches one of the thresholds at 4, 8, 12, or 16, it sends that information and asks, what substat am I getting on this piece? Or what row am I getting as an extra, for example? When this was initially just HP and attack, and it rolled to level 4, then it would most likely call up the server and say, okay, so I have level 4 here, should I upgrade HP or attack? And then the server would respond, go with HP or go with attack. Same thing for level 8, and then what will be the stat for level 12? And the server would say, put in accuracy. Just randomly. That's my guess. Anyway. But like I said, I think this is the case because I was testing this out earlier, and I would get different results when using the auto upgrade and the manual upgrade. Like I said, this one would have taken more than 19 attempts. I ran out of silver, but then with the same silver, when I relog back into the game, I hit upgrade 6 or 7 times, and I managed to get it. I managed to get the 14 to 15 upgrade right away. And actually, I can show you that this method using the manual upgrade actually reaches out to the server for every single upgrade. If you turn off the Wi-Fi and you hit this button, it's going to stall at this point. And if you turn the Wi-Fi back on, it'll either upgrade or fail. So it's not going to stall only if it upgrades. It's not going to automatically fail without reaching out to the server. Every time you hit upgrade manually, it's going to make that ping to the server and it's going to ask, is this successful or is this not? Now, if the information was already hard-coded into the item, it wouldn't matter if you're using the auto option or the manual one. It's still going to take, let's say, if this one takes 20 tries, this one should also take 20 tries. but I got different results. I got 6 or 7. So I don't think it's hard coded. That's what I'm trying to say. So let me just show you real quick what I mean. I'm gonna turn my Wi-Fi off. Okay, just in case you didn't hear me, because I'm only recording the game screen. I don't know if the software is recording when I'm out of the game screen. I just turned off my Wi-Fi, and I'm gonna hit upgrade. And look at this, it stores right away. I'll try and turn on my Wi-Fi now again, and we'll see if it succeeds or fails. Okay, Wi-Fi is back on. Let's try to re-log in. Oops. Normally, if you do it faster, it wouldn't ask you to re-log in. It would just update immediately. Now I was just doing it too slowly. So while we're waiting for this load, I don't think, because people were wondering, does it work the same way for shards? I don't think it does, because if you try to open shards, you can't really start pulling shards and getting champions without reaching out to the server first. So again, this is something that needs to come from server side. It's not stored on our devices. And I think that it's safe to say that we do have RNG in the game, meaning that it's not something that is predetermined, not in the sense that there's no RNG involved. It's just that basically the client talks to the server, and the server gives it additional information to avoid it becoming overloaded. Because some time ago, that was before I started playing, but some time ago there was an event similar to this one running right now, where an artifact enhancement event, where basically I guess things were running where every single time you hit upgrade, regardless of whether you're using the auto function or the manual one, you would communicate with the server, and the servers basically crashed. The game became unplayable. So I think this is what Plarium came up with as a fix to that problem. Basically, they thought about how can we reduce the chatter between the clients of our gamers and our own server. And they said, okay, well, one thing we can do is we can send the information on when the client should reach us again with our latest packet of information. So whenever something upgrades, the server also tells it, try me again in 15 attempts to see to get the next upgrade. So one of these events basically is what caused the servers to crash, and I think that's how Plarium fixed it. Because imagine all those players, all those people trying to upgrade items and sending pings to the server at the same time. You get the idea. Basically, the game becomes unplayable, servers crash, and customers are not happy. So that's pretty much what I think about this. It kind of makes sense to me because it's also based on some information that I have from Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. This is a game I used to play for, I think, almost 3 years, but I quit a few months ago because I was kind of tired of it. However, like I said, a lot of things were data mined there as well. A lot of information we got earlier than we were supposed to because of data mining. We had all that information in swgoh.gg. That is still up there. You can check it out if you like. So yeah, it's not something that's uncommon. It's not something that is unheard of. Basically, most games rely on not having that many interactions with the server. The only problem with that is that it opens up the game to hacking. So what I'm saying is anybody with good hacking experience could possibly create a mod of the game where they would only take one attempt to upgrade something, for example. So every time you hit auto upgrade one level, it's going to send information to the server falsely saying that it upgraded, for example, 19 times as the server told it to, and that it's time for the next upgrade. But it only took one try. Maybe that's possible to do, I don't know. I honestly don't know, have no idea. But I do know that there are modded APKs out there that basically allow you to modify certain things in the client. That was an issue in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You could modify some of the stats for the characters that you had. So you could, for example, quadruple their attack, or make them have 1 million hit points, become almost unkillable, things like that. So that was blatant cheating right there, because it was used basically in one of the PvP modes. Not just one, but it was mostly used in one of the PvP modes, and that's not okay. And actually, the developers of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes got in touch with swgoh.gg, and they made it possible for you to see the results of battles and for you to see exactly what the enemy used against you when they were fighting you. So that way, if you saw a really weak team beating your best team, you knew that this was somebody using a modded APK and basically cheating at the game, so you could report them. I don't know what happened after that, because I quit playing around that time, but yeah, that's how it works normally. So guys, hopefully you were not too discouraged. The reason why I'm saying this is because, for example, a lot of people said that if let's say you have a level 15 piece that you want to get to 16, but you try this upgrade one level and it takes like 50 tries, let's say, you might actually give up on taking that piece to 16 at all. But there's a workaround to that. Like I said, you can just try with this. Try manually upgrading it. It might take more than 50 times if you're using this. I mean, it's RNG. I can't guarantee that it's gonna work out better for you compared to using the auto option. But if it's really 50 times, then chances are you might actually get lucky and just get it in, let's say, 5 attempts or 15 attempts or even 45 attempts, but maybe not 50. At least the chances of going over 50 are really small, I think. So yeah, guys, let me know what you think, what your thoughts are on this discovery. I don't think it's really a discovery. I think at least a good number of people knew about this. It just wasn't common knowledge, really. And now that it has become common knowledge, I think people are unnecessarily panicking about this and saying, "Oh, this is a exploit. This is a glitch. This is it's not RNG. They're lying to us." I don't want to defend Plarium, but in this case, I think they're not really lying to us or anything like that. They have just implemented a system that allows them to save server power and that allows them to optimize connections. That also means that if you're, for example, if you're playing on your mobile phone and you don't have access to Wi-Fi, this also means that it's using less of your bandwidth, so it's technically using less data. So that kind of works in your favor as well in such a situation. And one final thing I wanted to say: if you're attempting this on your phone, make sure you don't just turn off the Wi-Fi, because your phone is automatically going to go from Wi-Fi to mobile data. So you're still going to be connected to the internet. Instead, use the airplane mode. So just pop the airplane mode on, do whatever it is that you want to do. If it works out for you, turn off airplane mode and connect back to Wi-Fi so you can get the upgrade. If it doesn't work out for you and you want to try something different, like manually upgrading the item, then kill the game first, then turn off airplane mode, start the game, and try the other method. Okay, guys, I think this is it for this video. Hopefully that I was able to give you some more information on this and maybe alleviate some of your concerns. I don't think anything nefarious is going on here. I think it's just the way things work and the way things are more efficient that way. So how would you use this? I don't think it's going to save you a lot of silver, honestly, because, for example, I used it right when I was running out of silver, so for me it was useful for this one item, this one time. But would I really use this if I had like 5 or 10 or 20 million? No, I don't think so. If I want to take an item to 16, I'm gonna take it to 16, no matter how much platinum it takes. Now, if I was really starving for platinum and I needed that item to 16, like I did for the missions and for the quest, then obviously it came in clutch for me because I was able to get it upgraded to 16 without spending all my platinum, because I knew that using the auto option would not get me the upgrades with the platinum I had left. So yeah, it can be used, but I don't think it's going to really be groundbreaking for you guys. It's just something to keep in mind if you're ever short on resources and you really want that piece to go up to 12 or 16 or whatever. Then yeah, definitely go for it, and it's it's gonna work out. It'll probably save you some silver in that situation. But if you want to go through every single piece and just do this for every single level, it's gonna take a lot of time. And you might start out thinking that you're gonna do it, but eventually, after a few levels, you're gonna realize that that's not something you want to do for most of the day, instead of playing the game. So yeah, again, just a recap. If this doesn't work for you, if you have something that asks for a lot of attempts, try the manual upgrade option. It's I think it's the better one. Now, of course, I'm not saying this is better always. Again, it's RNG both on this side and on this side, but if this RNG is not in your favor, you could try with this one and hopefully it'll work out better for you. Okay guys, I know that this probably sounded very confusing. Hopefully you got the gist of it, even if you didn't get absolutely everything. I'm kind of confused myself, but I think this is what it's all about, and I don't think we're being cheated or anything like that. I think this is just an optimization issue. But let's see what the data miners can tell us. I think this will keep developing and people will try to data mine more information. Maybe we'll discover something new and get an update. So let's keep our ears to the ground in the meantime, and hopefully we'll find something useful in the next few days. Okay guys, have a good one and stay safe.